we're just gonna send it with one mic, I guess.
All right.
This is Tyler. Tyler and I work together.
Yes, we do. We work at Tin Roof, and we have so much fun there.
It's a place. It's live music.
Yeah.
Every day.
Live music venue. Honestly, probably one of the best places to go in Glenwood Avenue.
Well, you worked in a bar before Tin Roof, didn't you?
No, I did not.
Oh, really? I thought you worked at City Limits.
Nope. A lot of the bouncers that work on staff worked at City Limits before it closed down.
Josh, Gunner.
Yep, all them. TJ did too. I'm all mutual friends with them. I've actually known Josh Benfalvey, for years. Actually, I grew up with them back in Gorner. But
you guys knew a couple people together.
Yes.
You knew like Anna for a while before this.
Well, Anna, she actually. How long ago did she start working for Tin Roof? Do you know?
She opened it.
She opened it?
Like a year ago.
Okay.
A year and 2 months ago. She doesn't work there anymore though.
Yeah, I know her through my buddy Dalton Ferguson, who worked at City Limits with Josh actually. But I know Dalton through when I went to college up in North Rhine. So we played football together, whatever.
Did you and Josh play football together? He played football, didn't he?
So we played middle school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've known him for about, I would say probably about 12, 13 years, something like that.
Have you always been like 6'2", 6'4"? What are you?
No, you're not going to believe this, but hit a growth spurt in middle school.
Okay.
Used to be actually kind of a small guy.
Really?
You're not going to believe this, yes. But
are your parents big?
No, my dad is only like 5'9".
What? Maybe that's not your dad.
No. My dad's 5'9". He might not be. Who knows?
Right?
I mean, shit, my mom, she has 6 children, so who knows? But
goodness.
Yeah. So I have 5 other siblings. Sam obviously being one.
Yeah.
Being the twin.
Are you guys twins? Like came out at the same time?
So no, I actually kicked Sam out of the womb because I wanted more space in there.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, like a soccer ball just went.
Or, yeet. Wait, but y'all were born the same. Like, who's older and by how much?
So Sam is technically the eldest, even though he's an interesting fellow. He's 8 minutes older than me. We were born at Durham Memorial over there near the Durham County Stadium in 1996. So
okay, God, you're young.
Yeah, 24, man. Be 25 in March.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm 31. I'm an old motherfucker, right?
Man, you're not that old. I mean,
that's 6 years older than you, dude. Imagine if we were
7.
See, math was better than when you were in school. We didn't have calculators. We had rocks.
Oh, rocks! You just threw them around.
Yeah, and we divided by smashing them.
Hulk smash.
Rock divided by fist.
Now it's a stone.
Did your brother play football with you?
Yes. So through high school, we went to Wake Forest High School. I grew up originally off of 4042 in Garner, exit 312. I was there for years. But my mom was a teacher over at Wake Forest High School for a numerous amount of years. So I had the option of either going to West Johnson or going to Wake Forest High School. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go with her, do my thing. Because Wake Forest High School, traditionally...
You went to school with your mom teaching?
Yes.
Did you have her as a teacher?
She was a dance teacher. And what's funny is I can't dance worth a damn. I'm terrible at it.
Your mom was a dancer?
She was a dancer.
Like ballet?
You're not going to believe this. She
Exotic.
was a professional.
Whoa!
Yeah. Professional dancer.
Did you ever talk to your mom and be like, can I get some dance moves?
When I was younger, yes, but then I thought I was really cool. I was like, I don't need to learn how to dance.
Yeah.
Fuck that. There's no point.
I wish I would have took dancing. I had this dude tell me, he's like, 2 things if you ever want to succeed in life, learn to dance and learn how to play music. So I learned to play music, but never got good at dancing. I have a good 30-second spurt in me. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
See, if I get drunk enough, I will get confident enough to go dance.
Yeah.
But,
you can dance, trust me, says alcohol.
You can totally dance. It's fine. You got it. No. But other than that, though, I like to sing.
Yeah.
We're going to do karaoke.
You're going to do karaoke night?
Fuck yeah.
This is the earliest podcast I ever did.
Oh, really?
Normally they're at 10 o'clock at night, and they last till 2 in the morning.
Well, we're going to get wasted then, I guess.
Yeah, well, we only have 12 beers, so how drunk can we possibly get?
I don't know. I mean, they're IPAs. We're going to find out real quick, though.
So you played football with your brother that looks exactly like you. Did you all play similar positions? So
my junior year of high school is when I started to put on some weight. Because I was like, you know what? I have a passion for football. I want to play in college, So I'm just going to put on some weight, because I was a lineman, offensive lineman. And he was a tight end. So in that time period, we decided, fuck it, we're going to try and play college ball together, do our own thing.
Yeah.
And we started getting recruited by some major Division I schools. Well, me particularly. I had about 12 Division I offers coming out of high school.
Why didn't you stay with it?
Well, I did stick with it. I wanted to go to school the same place that Sam went to,
So you guys could do each other's classes.
Exactly. We actually did that in high school. In high school, we used to switch classes. It's fucking hilarious.
Well, it's crazy because, like, I was trying to get you both at the same time, but I started thinking about it. I'm like, I wouldn't, like, they could, you guys look so much alike. I mean, I can, like, if you guys are sitting together for a long period of time, then I can tell you all apart.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, because your behaviors.
Yeah.
But, like, at a glance, from a distance, I don't even know who the fuck I'm talking to.
Right.
I don't know which one I had saved in the phone. I think Sam is actually Tyler in my phone as well, to be honestly.
He's Tam, I'm Skylar.
Yeah,
so.
God, I hate both of you. So my grandma fell over the other day.
That was very interesting.
And Tam and Skylar are sitting in the back. And I, like, walk up, and I didn't know who to address. I was just like, fuck. I was like, I need both of you right now. And one of y'all were like, we're going to go fight someone. I was like, even better. We got to pick up my 500-pound grandma.
Sounds awesome.
Which, I mean,
I was ready to go. Don't get me wrong. Like, I was, like, probably borderline drunk. But as soon as I hear those words, I'm automatically assuming, all right, somebody's going to get hands. Like, let's do it.
No, it's crazy that we work in a profession that is such a thing all the fucking time. And, I'm not a very violent person, and I try not to be that way, but, like, what do you do when, some drunk guy just throws a fist at you? Like, obviously, you're not going to sit there and eat a fist. No. I mean, maybe the first one, you know what I mean? But, like, it's crazy, and, like, I don't know, like, I've had that Superman drunk feeling where, like, I feel like I can fight anyone and win. And then, like, the next thing you know, they're like, oh, you hurt me. And it's like, well, you remember fucking Thanksgiving Eve? You remember that shit? Yep. It was like 10 fights, and it's like, what is
fucking
going
ridiculous.
on?
New Year's was terrible, too.
Yes.
And Halloween last year, this year was kind of iffy, but last year Halloween, dude, I was about to lose it. I knew New Year's Eve, actually, we only had 4 bouncers on staff, and there was, like, 3 fucking fights. I remember our mutual friend, Zach Wallace, who works at Tin Roof as well.
Yeah.
I remember calling him over. I was like, hey, man, there's a fight. I called him over, and me and him were just handling, like, probably about this big group of, like, 5 people.
Yeah.
And with 2 people, it's difficult to fucking do it.
Yeah.
Man, it fucking is.
And it's crazy because, like, it doesn't matter who's wrong or right. You just don't want them in the building.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And, like, people don't understand that, like, so you're technically the craziness starts on Thursday. Mm-hmm. So by Saturday, you're just so fucking tired of drunk people's shit. And, like, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of fun working at a bar. You meet a lot of cool people, too. But, man. Mm-hmm. And, like, then these people go back to their lives, and you wonder, like, what they do for, like, the rest of their life. Like, do you go everywhere and do this? Like, do you go to McDonald's and you're like, hey, fuck you, Ronald, and
I want a hamburger. You gave me a McChicken. Like, and then you're just going to go in the kitchen and try to fight somebody?
Like, I said no lettuce. Like, it's amazing, dude.
It's amazing because I feel like people are entitled. So when they get drunk, they're like, fuck it, I got this big-ass head, whatever. Yeah. They can just do whatever. Yeah. And it's like, nah, man, you're at a public place. You're out here, because we're allowing you to be here in this building and having a good time. But once you cross that line, no. It's just done, man. Well, it's done.
It's easier for you standing way taller than me, but I'm like, look up at a 6'3" dude. I'm like, dude, you gotta chill the fuck out. Well, what are you gonna do? I'm like, oh, I ain't gonna do shit. But those 3 guys behind you, they're gonna remove you. Like, whether you want to or not. I just don't get it because it's just like, no one hates you. It's just today was not the day for you.
Definitely not. And, like, that's the thing, too, man, is, like, I feel like people have bad days when they do shit like that. Yeah. Maybe something's on their mind.
What they're going through.
They could be going through a divorce. They could, maybe so-and-so's in town. They just had a breakup, whatever. There's a lot of reasons people go to bars, specifically. And, the weekends are fun. People go out on the weekends all the time. But if you're going to sit there and be an asshole, man, it's not worth it at all. It's really fucking not worth my time.
It's crazy to me that, I get, like, the idea, like, we're going to go out and get fucked up and have a good time. But then it's like, that's all you think about that night. And then you wake up the next morning like, oh, what have I done? You know what I mean?
What did I do last night?
Right? And it's crazy because it's like, it's better us than the police because, like, police ain't going to cut you no slack. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the shit, the way it's been with COVID and like the protests and all this, that, and the third, like, they're out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're probably fed up with everything too. I'm not saying every cop's right, but, like, man, they're, like, the wrong ones to make mad right now because they have everything pointing at them, you know what I mean? They're already having a bad year.
Yep. and people come in and they bitch about, oh, you're only open till 11. You know, like somebody told me actually the other night, they're like, you ever seen the movie Gremlins? I'm like, yeah, it's a Christmas movie. I fucking love it. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, super dark movie.
Yeah, and I think Steven Spielberg directed it. If I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think he did.
Maybe.
But he was like, you ever seen it? I'm like, yeah. And he was like, so after 11 o'clock, that's when the alcohol sales stopped. So does like COVID turn into Gremlins, or like how does it work? Like I'm like,
they can't touch water either, right?
Yeah, if you touch water, they just multiply.
So no one's gonna give anyone water.
No H2O for you, man.
I can't remember before COVID a place that I worked. I mean, maybe when I was like a teenager that closed at 11. You know what I mean? It's surreal to me, and I'm used to being up to like 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. But the crazy thing is, now there's less bartenders and less people to lean on. So now, like, I'm just as tired at 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm doing twice the work for less amount of money, and people that are already mad at me for shit that's not in my control. Service industry is insane. You know what I mean?
Like we were talking about earlier, I think everybody needs to work at least one service job.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like,
where you have to talk to people face to face, not on the phone, face to face. You know what I mean? And another one is maybe people should work with children. You know what I mean? And like, I worked for the Y for a little bit, and like, I realized you meet these kids that like they're not bad kids, but you meet their parents, and you're like, I
see where it comes from.
I get it. I fucking get it. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because like I adopted a lot of my parents' habits when I was young. I guess every kid does, you know?
Yes.
And like, I don't feel that way about life at all now. You know what I mean? Like,
well, like for me, for example, growing up, I grew up off of exit 312, Garner, 4042 area. You know, my parents, very conservative, very Republican, Christians.
Yeah.
And when I like finally got out of the house, or whatever, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and just say, oh yeah, they're right or wrong. But what I will say is that, habits and things that are put on you as children try to stay with you. You just got to find yourself.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not very religious. I believe that religion has some good values in it here and there and good stories. But, like, I mean, if we could all just agree not to be a dick, I think the world would just be a better place. You know what I mean? Like the great book says, do unto others. I'm like, maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't do unto others how we want done to us, because maybe other people don't want things done to them the way we want things done to us. You know what I mean?
Follow the golden rule, man.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just crazy. What also kills me is like this whole like COVID shit. People are like, I don't want to get sick and I want everyone to wear a mask, but at the same time, it's like, well, if you're really that afraid of it, just stay the fuck home. You know what I mean? Like, you're going out to, to indulge in something. I'm going out because I have to work. You know what I mean? I'm not, like, I choose to be here for money.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't have another source of income right now.
I have rent, I got bills, man. I have to be here. If you don't want to be here, you don't fucking have to.
And now you gotta fall like, I don't want to enforce these rules, and it's crazy because like they've made all these rules about masks. And I'm not for or against masks; it's like whatever to me. But like, it's just like they made all these rules, and like now instead of like them enforcing them, they're forcing me to enforce them. You know what I mean?
It's like you're giving me a second job here, basically.
Yeah, like I am not your fucking pet to tell people to put on anything for that matter. You know what I mean? And what really kills me about the mask is I was listening to a senator talking. He's like, I've put people in jail for less than wearing a mask. You know what I mean? Yep. Could you imagine a year ago if you said, I'm going to go in the bank wearing this mask? You know
no, you're not.
No, you're not.
It's not going to happen.
And now people walk in the bank all the time,
I don't know, man. I think there's positives and negatives to it, But at the same time, I feel like if people, could understand why the reason it's for, then that's cool.
Well, I like wearing a mask, I don't like wearing it because I can't breathe, but I like wearing it because you don't get to see my facial expression. I'm a solid 9 with it on, you know what I mean? Like, I'm hot with
I'm a 7.5.
Yeah, like, I grew up in the world with the mask, you know what I mean? And when I say there's no, there's no question in it, it's like I'm saying a statement, I'm not smiling behind it, I'm not frowning behind it, it's like, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And
I think it's worked a lot of, wonders for people that have resting bitch face. You know what I mean?
We know several people that do.
Yeah, oh God. It's just how my face sits. I don't know what you want me to do about it.
How about put a smile on it, dude?
Right?
Literally, just, that's what you gotta do.
Anything better than just, a stare,
Don't give me the death stare, bro. Let's not do that.
It's crazy, the way, I remember when SARS was a big thing and everyone in China was wearing masks. And like we were all like back then we're like that's crazy they're all wearing masks, but here we are, you know what I mean? And I don't know when this is gonna end. You know, people were like, I didn't think it was gonna last this long.
No, you know I didn't. I honestly didn't think it was either.
I'm impressed, but you know who's making a lot of money? The people that make masks. You know what I mean? Like this has been a thriving year for somebody. You know what I mean?
That and the ABC stores for sure.
Oh God, they made so. Well, so the crazy thing is, we're one of like the few states that have ABC stores. Places like like California, you can buy handles of liquor in Costco, but North Carolina has definitely thrived.
Very, very much.
You know, and it's wild to me. And like a lot of other things that have made money through this. You know what I mean? People always make money, and to me, there's three things that will always sell. It's like entertainment, sex, and like drugs or alcohol. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And you could even probably like put entertainment and sex together. You know what I mean?
I think it all goes as one. To be honest with you.
Well, I mean, like, you can have entertainment and you can have alcohol. You know what I mean? But like those are things that will always sell. Because people want to be entertained. No one wants to be sad. I mean, I guess maybe some people just thrive on
just like want to be sad their entire lives.
Yeah. Well, I like. We all know someone that's all like, "Woe is me," you know what I mean? Like my life is so horrible, but then like you think about it, you're like, "Is it really that fucking bad?"
I mean, you could be homeless. You know, you could not be able to afford food, basic necessities of life.
When I was in Oregon, there's homeless people everywhere, and sometimes I look at them, I'm like, they're happier than me. You know what I mean? Like they don't have a worry in the fucking world. You know what I mean? They're like their house isn't dirty because they don't have one. You know?
Yes, I do get what you're saying.
You know, they don't got no dishes because they don't got no dishes.
A fork? What's that?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
There is a big homeless problem though on Glenwood for sure.
Yeah. Oh, but it's like it's not. It's only big to us because we see it there. But like Oregon, there are like camps, and like Vegas, there's a whole underground fucking city of these bitches. Like,
really? I've actually never been to Vegas, so.
All right, so there's a whole documentary about it. Right, so there's like the sewers in Oregon. They open up, and they have like fucking like legit like underground cities in Vegas that are made up of homeless people. They have their own bartering system. They fucking sell food. It's wild, dude.
It's like a little community, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Or a huge community.
No, monstrous. And people travel from, like, all over the fucking world to go there. And there's another place called Slab City that's like that. It's just people that have, like, come together and, like, we're not going to live by, the world's standards. This is going to blow your fucking mind, dude.
Are you pulling it up?
Yeah, fucking sure the hell am. It's unreal. It's like some shit out of like Fallout or something. Like
Fallout, dude, that's a good game too. Honestly, Fallout.
Look, so these are the tunnels that people live in. There's whole communities.
Honestly, I wish we could show the people on this.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna show them this one. But like, this is a thing. You know what I mean?
Can I see it?
Yeah, hell yeah. Careful what you hit. There's some things on that phone that will scar you for life.
Don't worry. Don't look at this one.
There's no therapy that can undo this shit. God. Isn't that wild?
That is insane to me.
And people are like, those poor fuckers, but the fuckers maybe living the fucking life. You know what I mean?
I mean, they're just doing them, and they're happy, apparently. Just being themselves.
Yeah. I mean, like, we stress on things that are... The more shit you own, the more shit owns you. You know what I mean? Like, you get a car, if your car breaks, you gotta fix your car. You know what I mean? These people own nothing. You know what I mean? So like, say they want to go down to Hawaii, they just take their clothes.
Just like, whatever, I'm just going.
Like, yeah, what am I leaving behind? You know what I mean? But I found this crazy law out, right? That if you're homeless and you have a pet, you are least likely to go to jail because they don't want to do the paperwork for the SPCA.
Really?
Isn't that wild?
That is fucking crazy to me.
So a lot of these homeless people have pets. And the crazy thing is, some of them buy pets that they couldn't do anything with. Like some of them buy fucking monkeys and shit.
Monkeys?
Fucking swear to you.
No way.
No, because they can't take a monkey to a dog shelter. You know what I mean? So say that you're like, you broke into this building and you're sleeping there, but they come and they find you, and like if you didn't have a pet, they'd probably arrest you and take you to jail. But they're like, oh, he's got a monkey, so like mountains of paperwork, and then you have all these fucking people. Who's the WWF, the World Wildlife Foundation, that will like come in and be like, it's abuse to the animal. But like, I just found out today that there are 14 states that you can own a kangaroo in.
I did too. I think South Carolina is one of them.
South Carolina is one of them.
I was like, what the fuck?
Where
like, you can own a kangaroo in South Carolina, but if you're in North Carolina, no.
Like, one state away. I think it's in there. Like, I think it is now legal in more states to suck a horse's dick than it is illegal to.
Get out of here. There's some crazy laws out there, man.
Yeah.
There really is.
They have this website called Useless Laws, and like one is like having an ice cream sandwich in your back pocket while sitting on a ceramic elephant fishing.
I think there's a country, I can't remember which one it is. It might be in Asia, where it's illegal to chew bubblegum because...
Really?
You know how like you were in school or whatever, you stick bubblegum under the desk, whatever? Well, there's a big problem with people littering bubblegum, like on, public roads and shit like that. So, like, they were just like, fuck it. No more bubblegum for you.
Yeah, like a child. You know what I mean? Like, nope. So, I think Dubai is really big on this. They will give you a loan for ever how much money you want, but you have to pay it off. And if they catch you, they'll like if you don't pay it off, they'll like fucking execute you or like in jail.
Wow.
So there's these places in like Dubai airport. There's a big one where there are all these exotic cars that are just parked, and they're just left there because they couldn't pay off their loan. So they just hop the fucking plane to where the fuck everyone left their shit.
Jesus Christ.
Wild, right? Bugattis, Pharaons, everything. You can just park, and they all have dust on them.
Can you imagine, like, with the student loan crisis here?
Right.
What that would be like? Like, no, sorry, government, here you go. We're going to kill you now because you owe $50,000.
Right.
Like,
dude, that is, I think, school, I think school is a good thing. I just think it's robbery. Mm-hmm. Like, that's weddings, school, and funerals. You know how much it costs to die? Like, you want to die?
Several $1,000s.
$5,000 easily to die. Like,
oh, we're gonna put you in this nice box too. You have to pay for that.
Yeah, and and if you don't, you leave everyone you care for about it. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
I would be not opposed to like a Viking funeral where you put me on a raft and soak me in kerosene.
Thank you, Thor. Mucho apreciado.
Yeah, like flaming arrow, But I don't think I'd want a flaming arrow. I want like a grenade or something. Like
just blow me the fuck up. Like,
have you ever seen that whale that got beached? And they were trying to figure out how to get rid of it.
This was a few years ago, wasn't
And
it?
they stuffed it full of dynamite.
And they just blew it up.
And it not only did it like make the problem bigger, but it like blew fucking chunks away
everywhere.
And like destroyed people's cars and like whales are huge, man. Like if you could have any pet.
That was a whale of a time for them though, wasn't it? Like
yeah, right? Oh, I'm trying to think of another pun on that. Well, not really.
Well, not really. That was punny for sure. That was punny.
If you could have any pet in the world, within that you could take care of, obviously don't fuck it. Any pet in the world, what would you have?
Any pet? Oh God, this is a very, very difficult question. I know a friend of mine actually owns, I think it's this huge boa constrictor, as big as probably from that wall to this one.
Yeah.
And he has a huge tank where it sits in or whatever. I've never been a snake guy, but when I saw that, I was like, I don't think I ever want to own a snake ever in my life. Because what if that thing breaks out, But if I could ever have a pet that was mine, that I could own, honestly, I think I'd like to have... Well, you see homeless people with squirrels.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Maybe an alligator? I don't know. Even though I probably could not take care of it. But,
I'd want something I could ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, a camel.
Oh,
an elephant.
Elephant? Can you imagine an elephant in your fucking backyard?
Well, so the crazy thing is, in North Carolina, horses have more right to the road than cars do. Right?
No way. Are you serious?
Fucking swear to you. If you could buy a horse and ride it around Raleigh, and they have more right to the road than any fucking car. You see cops riding horses around town. They are almost considered, a pedestrian.
Right.
But with that being said, could you imagine drunk people on horses?
No, I can't.
At the Wild West.
Have you ever seen that movie with Seth MacFarlane where he rides a horse? Oh, I can't remember the name of it. But he's fucking he's on a horse. Is it the Wild Wild West? Is that what it is?
Was it with Will Smith?
No, that's not Will Smith. That's
Wild Wild West.
Damn it. See, I'm young, obviously. Mm-hmm. This is why I'm 24. Anyways, he gets on a horse, and he's like, don't horse and drive, basically, is what he says.
Drinking horse?
Drinking horse, yeah.
Don't horse and drive. No, so the cool... All right, so horses are awesome, right? But the crazy thing about a car and a horse is, this is why I love my motorcycle, right? I can turn my motorcycle off. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? My motorcycle, it won't bite me. It might throw me off, but, it won't bite me. If there's a problem, I just turn my fucking... motorcycle off. You piss a horse off, you know what I mean? It's a big fucking powerful animal, you know what I mean? That thing will want to stomp you in the ground,
boom, man.
I'm not scared of a lot of things, but so I was out in the wilderness camp in fucking Utah when I was 16, and there was a fence right? And we were in the inside of the fence with this baby cow, and we're like, oh, look, a baby cow. But the baby cow had crawled under the fence. From the other side of the fence, there was mama cow. And then, like, we're, like, getting to the end of the fence, and, like, mama cow is pissed. And I'm, like, looking at this cow, and I mean, it's bucking, kicking back. And cows, like, you don't think of cows as dangerous. But, man, like, I looked at that cow, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? It's faster than me. It's stronger than me. It's not intelligent, you know what I mean?
Right.
All it knows is that's its baby. And, like, we're around its baby, and, like, I don't, what are you gonna do? Like, I like cheese, chill. Like,
milk, I love milk. Okay?
I love
like,
milk.
all that protein.
Or maybe
you know,
it pisses it off. Like, oh, you like milk, huh, motherfucker? I'm like, no, lactose intolerant. Completely kidding.
Get some moo cow fuck milk, man. There you go.
I think an elephant would be cool, though, because they're fucking strong. Mm-hmm. Like, I could start my own towing business.
You really could. Like a rhino. Imagine a rhino.
Yeah.
Like,
oh,
the big-ass horn and shit.
So,
dude.
I was reading a thing about them fuckers. They run like 40 miles an hour. But maybe not very long.
What?
But, yeah, they're fast as fuck. Hippos run like 30. Hippos.
I did not know.
You
learn something new every day, I guess.
Hippos are like the most dangerous
animal on the planet, right?
Yeah, they've killed more humans than any other animal. Mm-hmm. And like, I guess people don't think of it. You know what I mean? Like, but I'll tell you what, man. You see those fucking teeth? I saw one at the zoo like literally 2 weeks ago. And I'm 180 pounds, and this thing dwarfed me. And it's skipping across the bottom of the thing, like it's like just like, you know, leisurely walking. And I'm like, God, that thing would fuck me up. You know what I mean?
It's so beautiful, but God, no, let's stay away from it.
And then like maybe its retarded cousin, manatees. They will never hurt you. You know what I mean?
The sea cows?
Yeah, they're just.
I went to Florida. Listen here, it was about 5 or 6 years ago, and you know, off the interstate when you're driving to Orlando. You know, there's a lot of swampy areas or whatever, you know, a lot of mixed water, salt and fresh. And we crossed this bridge and it said, no swimming allowed, something about the manatees, you know. And honestly, they're peaceful to look at. But imagine one of those things on fucking land.
Well, they can't walk. They only have the flippers, right? They only have flippers.
Yeah, but like imagine one of those big ass things on the land. Like,
it rolls over. You know, I wonder like if there's like manatee. We don't milk any mammals in the water. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like in Russia, they drink horse milk and shit, and people drink goat milk. We don't drink manatee milk.
No. Let's talk about this. Milk, first of all,
it's a weird fucking thing.
It is weird. Why the fuck?
We're the only. Well, that may be not true, but we're the only person or thing on this planet that goes and milks something and drinks it.
It's like no other species on the planet drinks milk from anything else.
Or even eat because, like, you know, what I mean, it's nutrients. Mm-hmm. You know, like. I mean, I'm sure cats will drink cow milk. You know what I mean? Anything would probably drink it if you gave it to them. Mm-hmm. But monkeys don't go around and milk things. You know what I mean?
Really?
Right? And here's like another thing. Why don't we drink human milk? We drink cow milk, but human milk is disgusting.
You know what I think we should have? We should have one human. We should just like have an election for it. Mm-hmm. Like woman with the biggest breasts on the planet or in America, and then she's the only person allowed to give milk to everyone.
I wonder if the size of your breast is like how much milk you can produce. You know what I mean? I wonder if there's like, you know what I mean? Like, think of like Jackie Chan, right? Or not like Bruce Lee.
This is why we need a female in the room.
Yeah. Like
for this question specifically.
Like a tiny guy, but built like a built powerhouse. And then think of someone like a 300-pound man. That, you know, Bruce Lee would fuck that 300-pound man up.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? But like, once again, like the size of something doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So maybe you have like one like a negative A cup, like an indention, but it fucking just milks like you wouldn't believe.
Like whoa, like there it is. Like,
can you imagine? Like, I wonder if we would do it by like ethnicity. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have some Asian milk today, some African milk, oh that Caucasian milk. Well, you don't want that.
No, nobody wants any of that.
Yeah, it's fucking stuck up. You drink that, you're pretentious like a bitch.
Apparently, you're entitled to.
Yeah,
like...
you want some 10-year-old scotch with that.
You said Bruce Lee. You ever seen the movie? What is it? The Raven or no? It's the Crow. That's what it is. The Crow.
The guy dies.
Isn't that his son who died in that?
I thought his son was like some black dude.
I can't remember. I know there was a.
Didn't he get shot with a bullet? Or
he got shot in the movie
with a fake. It was supposed to be a fake round.
It was a fake round, and then just died on screen. Like I think it was 93, 92.
Yeah, it wasn't super long ago. There's been a lot. There's a thing called Faces of Death. Mm-hmm. And it was really big when I was a kid because you could order it offline. But now, like thanks to like censorship, you can't find it anywhere. But Faces of Death is like basically people have died on video unexpectedly or expectedly. And there's a couple like when you watch shit like that. There's this one dude that like he's like he's like on camera, he's like making a speech, like blah 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 blah, and he pulls out a gun, and just blows his brains out. And everyone's like, "What the fuck?" There's another chick that does it on like some TV show, like the Ellen Show, but it's not the Ellen Show.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, she apparently. God, Ellen, don't come after me financially.
Please don't.
I have nothing for you, but I heard
we have no trademarks over here,
dude.
Yeah, didn't she like lose her show recently or something?
Yeah, I guess. And then like apparently people have been like she'd have people come in and she didn't like the way they smelled or something like that. She thought they were dirty people, right? And like
really,
yeah, dude, you gotta read. There's been so many people fired from the Ellen Show, and like I mean I don't know how true this is. Please don't sue me for slander. You probably get $100 tops.
That's about a third of what I have right now. But go ahead.
But yeah, but like once you're that, like if I ever like what we were talking about earlier, like if I ever had a crazy amount of money, everyone around me would be happy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Within a reason, like a reasonable spot.
In the truck, we were talking about the lottery and all that stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like you were like, if I won the lottery, we're all going on vacation. You know what I mean? But like I agree. Like if I won the lottery, like I mean, we're all gonna have one good night. You know? What I mean?
Yeah, we're gonna have so much fun. And like I said earlier, like I would like to take people on vacation. Like whatever, do our thing.
Yeah. And
you said something about hey, a month, whatever. Fuck it, we're gonna do whatever.
But then it's business again.
And it's like, all right, get back to it.
I mean, what would if and it's crazy because $1 million really isn't that much anymore.
It's not
compared to what it used to be. Like 20 years ago, $1 million was a shit ton of money. But now we have people that are like multi-trillionaires. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? $1 million buys you a really, really fast car, a really nice house. But once you get that fast car, that nice house, and you have, property taxes, insurance, and like so $1 million isn't anything. But it's crazy because like if you have $100 positive in your bank account, you are richer than 45% of America, and that's like amazing to me.
I read something online where if you have $1,000 in your savings account, that's more than 60% of the United States.
Yeah, everyone runs off of fucking credit.
Yeah,
it's crazy. No one ever fucking robbed me. I'll blow your fucking brains out. Think I don't sleep with a fucking 45.
I'll be right here to help you out too.
Just know that. But like, so I bartend, so I get cash. There's less money in my bank account than there is like in my safe. Yeah, you know what I mean. And like, I've always been that way because like, say someone goes to jail. You know what I mean? Like someone needs $1,000 bond. I could be like. $1,000 in cash. I don't have to worry about bank transaction. I've always been that way because you never know what's going to happen. For what this is worth, if anyone cares to rob me, I also have 1,000 rounds for my 40 fucking 5. So bust my door in and find the fuck out.
Well, I used to have a 12 gauge, but I don't anymore. So.
Yeah,
I'll just roll up and we'll have a good time.
When all this shit got crazy, with COVID and shit, and I didn't know. Like, so I'm more afraid of people than I am this sickness, and like because the whole mob mentality, like. People got nuts during the Ferguson shit. And, like, as well as they should have. But I feel like, riot if you want to riot. But I feel like if you're going to riot, do it in the right way. And I mean this by, if you're mad at someone for killing Ferguson, then instead of burn down buildings down fucking town, you go fucking burn that motherfucker. You know what I mean? You want to make a statement, you go after the person that did it. You don't fucking burn buildings and shit. You really want to piss someone off? Go after the IRS building. You know what I mean?
I feel like people have been, like persecuted for a long time, and like not a lot has been done about it.
Oh no, I definitely agree. The Ferguson shit, is just horse shit. No one should ever have to die like that in this day and age.
It's ridiculous.
It's fucking insane.
Can I bum one of those from you?
Yeah, I figured you're out.
Definitely. I just ran out of my last one.
Now you gotta smoke my ranch instead of the Newports.
Hey man, these are cowboy killers. I love them.
No, but like, I'm a big fan of fucking when you fuck up. Like, you have a kid. If someone ever hurt your fucking kid, you'd murder them.
They're done.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's how I feel. I worked for the Y forever, and like those weren't my blood kids. But if anything, like if someone told me like, oh, someone's touching little Johnny, after school, well, fucking Joe's knocking on that fucking door, and like someone's gonna get hurt.
Well, you get attached. With children specifically, you get attached to them.
They're fucking innocent. Dude.
They have done nothing. They don't know what's going on. They don't know about all this shit that's happening. All they know is that mommy and daddy said this, and blah blah blah. That's literally it.
And like we have all this shit that's coming out, true or not true, about all these celebrities and heavy hitters. They're all probably broken in half, by the way.
Yeah, I literally just broke this one.
I was gonna say that before you lit it.
It's all good. I'll take another one. Thank you.
We'll probably end up smoking that one. Let's put it on the side.
We're gonna leave it over here because
we won't forget about you, buddy. What was I saying? Oh, we have all these fucking like celebrities that are like not just being accused but being shown that they've like raped little kids. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying like they're like 18 years old. I'm saying these fuckers are like 12 years old. They have no idea what's going on. Like,
look at Pizzagate, you know?
Yeah. But here's the thing. It's like, you and I as a person can't prove that Pizzagate's real. We just have other people trying to prove it to us.
This is true. True statement.
With that being said, if that is true, why didn't you do something about it other than tell people? You know, there's so many fucking people that want to talk about it, but there's no fucking Batmans or Deadpools in the world that will go fucking fix the problem. You see Deadpool 2?
Yes.
Where he's like talking to the kid.
I love Deadpool.
And he fucking blows the other guy's brains out. He's like, did he touch you? He's like, bang! And he's like, yes! That is how you fix shit.
Yep.
Like,
I'm a big Marvel fan, man. I love Marvel.
So the crazy thing is, I love DC more than Marvel.
I do too, actually.
But Marvel has gotten bought by Disney, so they have all this money to put behind all their fucking badass movies. And they've done a fucking awesome job with the movies.
They definitely
what I mean? I'm fucking 31 years old, and now I'm thinking about trying to build an Iron Man suit.
What's crazy is DC, I mean, up until only a few years ago, you know, they didn't have their DCEU stuff. You know, they had a few select movies, you know, like...
Batman was a big one.
Michael Keaton's Batman, I fucking love that one. Jack Nicholson, awesome.
So that's crazy. I'm more of the second one where Batman Begins.
Dark Knight trilogy?
Yes. Christian Bale.
Yep. That's my favorite one.
Fucking love Christian Bale. And Christian Bale's a fucking badass, dude. And so is Liam Neeson, the guy that trains him. Yep. They're like black belts in 3 different things. And even the guy that plays Superman is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Like, people like look at these celebrities like,
Henry Cavill?
Yes, he's also in The Witcher. He is fucking
dude. Anybody who has not seen The Witcher, I recommend it, seriously.
Bro, I'm on the second to last book right now, and I'm on the video game, and they're just starting to collide. Like, I'm like, so now I know the whole backstory, and like, I'm so stoked. And I think Jeffrey Cavill, right?
Yeah.
I think he's a great guy to play. He's ripped. He's got a strong chin. You know what I mean? In the book, up until the book I am now, Geralt's kind of more. He's young, so he does naive shit. You know what I mean? But he's still a badass with a sword. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah, he is.
I know fucking 17-year-old kid that have been training Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu for probably 8 years now. That would fuck me up. Like 16-year-old kids that weigh 120 pounds. There's this kid named Jordan in my class who were fucking around the other day. He rolled me all over the mats. I could pick him up above my head. You know, but it doesn't matter how strong I am. You know what I mean? Like if I break his grip, he breaks my arm. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, I wrestled in high school a little bit, only for like 2 years. But what I've learned is that, you know, with wrestling, you know, it's mainly leverage and technique, which I'm assuming the same thing. You have to have technique. You can't just go in there and just, like, I'm tackling
you. Well,
you
could, like, so if you're a 90-pound person and you're fucking wrestling Arnold, you know what I mean? You might get him, but, like, God forbid that he, like, wraps his arms and legs, like, around your limbs, you know, and you can't move, or he lays on you and you can't get up. You know what I mean? Like, there's something to be said about weight. You know, I'm sure there is a, you know, like crazy and hot, how they have that scale, like, you know, the hotter you are, the crazier you are kind of thing.
Yep.
I'm sure there's a weight technique where it meets. You know what I mean?
Well, there has to be.
Like, you can't be 30 pounds and expect to be a 500-pound man. I don't think there's anyone that's 30 pounds. But you know what I mean?
It reminds me, isn't Arnold still swole? And he's like 60 fucking 5?
I think that's roids, though.
Jeez. Well, you know, honestly, you know,
Sylvester Stallone's still swole.
Didn't they just do a new Rambo movie, too, recently?
Yep. Dude, like, there was a big thing with them when they were going up through bodybuilding and shit and fighting for movies. But very slept on people that I don't think get a lot of credit is definitely Superman was a big one. I think Jason Momoa is starting to come up now after Aquaman.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Dude, that is a monster of a man, dude. I don't think he fights, though.
I don't know, but that man is scary as shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm 6'2", like 260, and that dude would beat my ass.
Oh, God. Well,
like,
I was looking at his fucking diet. It's like a 5,000-calorie diet a day, and he lifts 3 times a day, and then he's got 3 Guinnesses a day. That's his beer. Isn't that crazy? He's like,
so I gotta throw this into my diet, you know, whatever, because I'm gonna get fucked up regardless.
Yeah. And then the guy that plays the Mountain in Game of Thrones.
Yo, he's fucking huge, man.
He's broken so many records, like. But, like, there are people in this world that I know if they hit me and I wasn't paying attention, I'd be dead. He'd literally knock my head off my shoulders. You know what I mean?
I'm just now noticing your shirt. It says "Winter is coming."
Yeah.
I'm a big Game of Thrones fan too.
Me too. All right, so I think I'm gonna start reading the books because I watch. So I'm stuck on the Witcher books now. So like one thing at a time, and I do the audiobook thing because like everyone's well, you should read. It's good for your brain, but like I don't fucking have. You know, if you, like I train jiu-jitsu, I fight Muay Thai, I lift weights, and I work. Yeah. Like that, like, people can say what they want. That is a fucking lot to do. That's an hour of each.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're a busy dude.
And you have to shower.
Mm-hmm.
God, you don't want to be the stinky kid in class.
Yep. Hygiene, man, it's important. People don't realize that shit.
And like, bro.
People just come in. Some people come into work and they're stinking.
Oh, bro. I've been that guy though. Like, when we first opened Tin Roof, I remember I got off at 7:30. I had to be back at 10. I got in my truck. I put the keys in the ignition, and I looked at the bar. I just took them out and crawled in my back seat and went to sleep. And I was just like, I'm gonna drive 20 minutes to get home. I'm gonna maybe sleep for an hour or two, and then drive, shower and get back. So I was like, fuck it, I'll get 4 hours of sleep right here. Like,
yep.
I even turned my truck around so I was facing uphill, so my back seat would cradle me.
You know what you should have done? You got a bed in your truck, right?
Maybe not like a Blazer.
Oh, okay. I thought you had a truck.
Yeah. It was like, I mean, we've been open a year, so it had to be this time last year. It's crazy to think this time last year we were wide open.
Right. We were, man. We were popping.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened.
Back to the money thing, that's what I would do. If I had a lot of money, I'd probably, I'd train a lot more. I'd be in such better health.
Mm-hmm.
People were like, oh, habits start, I saw this thing the other day. It was like, you want to think like a million, you want to be like a millionaire, think like a millionaire, like get up early in the morning. I'm like, bitch, I'm going to bed when you're getting up. Fuck you, get up in the morning. Like, noon is early. Noon is fucking early, dude. And when you go to bed at when the sun's coming up at 5, that's a solid 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And people are like, you sleep in, everything happens during the day. I'm like, well, you didn't say that last night when you were at the bar, did you, fucking James?
Did you see me at the bar last night or no? Were you drunk enough to remember that? Or Speaking of which, can I get a beer? Is that cool, man?
Yeah. Oh, dude, they're right here. Dude, fucking.
Because I love beer. I fucking love beer. Beer.
Dude, I'm not trying to strive you. Just grab,
Now I need the thing.
Do
we have a thing? There's the thing. I wonder what this is used for.
Opening beers.
Of course, just opening beers.
On that subject, I fully think that all drugs should be legal.
What's funny is today, several states legalized all drugs, and they decriminalized a lot of shit.
When I was in Oregon, they decriminalized it.
It was Oregon. You're right. Yeah.
Oregon decriminalized anything under a gram of most things. And it's crazy to think because we have people sitting in jail that's had a bag of cocaine. You know what I mean? I'm not saying cocaine's great for you, but I'm also saying Lil Wayne said something on an interview once, and he said people were talking about I have syrup in my cup when it's really water, and it's like, what the fuck does it matter to you? It's my cup. It's in my fucking cup. Does it matter? It could be fucking battery acid. And it's a good point. The fuck doesn't matter to anyone else what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Well, I agree. I feel like we as people, we should be able to make our own decisions, and the government. Yeah, you can have some form of control over it, but at the same time, be like, hey, I'm me. I'm going to do this regardless.
Yeah. If your crazy addiction is not affecting anyone else in that regards, I don't think it should be anyone's business.
No, definitely not.
I just think it's fucking wild to me that people care about other people. They'll and this is a touchy subject with everybody. Abortions, you know what I mean? I understand how people feel. It touches some buttons, but at the same time, does it matter? It's not your body. How are you gonna tell someone to do with their body? You know what I mean?
I had what's funny is I looked on Facebook earlier today, and they're talking about abortions. It's my body. Whatever. And there's a lot of males out there like, oh, whatever. But there was a Facebook post about, well, how about this? If you guys are gonna try to control my body, why don't I get a vasectomy? Or
yeah.
Well, how about this? Especially for some people, just don't masturbate or have sex only for procreation. If that's the way you're gonna be.
No, I agree. The other thing that gets me, and this is also a touchy subject, is people that have sex changes. And if you want to have a sex change, by all means, have a sex change. But you're not gonna fucking tell me for one goddamn second that if you are a 6'5" man and you have a sex change and we get in a fight, then I'm getting an assault on a female charge. There's just no way. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? This goes with gay people too. People look at gay people and oh, they're fairies. I'm like, that is a man, dude. It doesn't matter what their sexual preferences, whatever. I was like, they will hit you like a fucking man.
Oh, they will.
And I was like they don't think because someone acts a certain way that they don't have hands. And it blows my mind because people think they're weak. Other people think people are weak because of things they do. You know what I mean? People wear pink and he's like, oh, he's got to be soft. No.
He just likes pink.
Look at Brandon. Brandon wears a pink bandana. Freaking rainbow everything. And I fight jujitsu with him. He's a monster,
Me and TJ were talking about this actually earlier, where what you just said with, people who are homosexual,
mm-hmm.
who are gay, you know, there's an assumption, oh, just because you're gay, you can't fight. And TJ's told me, he's like, hey, man, I've seen people that are like way bigger than these, you know, people that are, you know, that are gay.
Yeah.
But they'll beat the shit out of them, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like.
Yeah. Oh God. Look at TJ. He stands 5'5", maybe 5.
Uh-huh.
And I've broken up fights with him. I watched him get his fucking nose ring ripped off, and he just blocks his head out and starts laughing. I'm like, you're crazy, dude. Like,
yes, he is crazy, and it's fucking insane.
I love TJ.
Oh, he's awesome, dude. He really is. He's a good dude. Fucking.
He is, dude. He's got heart of gold. You know, everyone in the fucking group does. Like Gunner does too.
Gunner's great.
Brandon, all of us do. But like, it's just like we're the wrong ones. And I'm the nicest guy. It's just like, don't fuck with my friends, don't fuck with my family, and don't fuck with my girl. And like,
well, I'm gonna fuck with you.
Yeah. Like, and I was
Real
like,
quick, man.
And I was
Real
like,
quick.
and if I can't fix this, I was like, I know people that will. You know what I mean? But then it gets to like, to the whole like, one that we should not speak of that used to be a manager. Went through all that shit, and the only reason he didn't get his ass beat is because certain people told us not to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's crazy because like the world, it's very like we were talking about earlier, like tribe mentality. Like, you know what I mean? You get people that are in your group, and you care about those people, and you don't want to see those people hurt. And if people hurt those people, you know what I mean?
There's
no
one's
gonna do anything about it. It's just like, unless they tell me not to, something's gonna happen, you know, and it has to, because then if you don't do something about that problem, the person that hurt them will think that's okay and keep doing it to other people.
See, and this is why networking is important. Mm-hmm. Networking with, you know, whether it's business, you know, professionalism, whatever, or it's just people in general, you know, that you're friends with or whatever. It's why it's good to know people. That's why I like working in bars. You meet a lot of new people.
Yeah.
And like you have your regulars come in, but you meet a lot of new people on a regular basis. So, you know, you see a lot of faces. I'm terrible at remembering names, but I'm great at remembering faces.
Oh, God, faces are the best, though, because, like, you'll be like, didn't you do some shitty shit last time you were in here? Like, oh, you were the guy that dropped me $100 tip, man. With, you know, it goes both ways. And, like, with all this election shit I have great ways to fix all of it and everyone was going to hate me for it. But I was like, hey, why don't we just split the fucking country in half? Mm-hmm. You know, we'll just split it down in half, and then we can have 2 presidents. Mm-hmm. And then we could have, you know, like, East America, West America, or North America. I guess we already have North America.
So we're going back to 1860s now.
Just split it. You know what I mean? Like, if you think about the United States as a whole, we have 50 states. But then if you think about Europe as a whole, they have different countries in a similar amount of space. You know what I mean? I think that's right. Yeah, by all means. I mean, it's here to smoke and
I'm going to get some later anyways. I'll buy you a pack too.
Yeah, well, we'll be at the bar. I'm sure we'll have to stop before then.
Of course. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, but like, I think early Europe had a good idea. We just take all the criminals and drop them off on an island, thus Australia. You know what I mean? But maybe we should like chain off like in like states no one cares about, like Utah and like the middle of the state, and we'll just like we'll throw all the criminals in there and do a weapon drop in the middle and just let them thin each other out.
You know what's crazy though is a lot of people that are incarcerated for the wrong reasons. You know, a lot of people have a criminal record. You know. Oh, you're good.
That's my girl. That's the only.
Yeah, you're good.
Anyone else, I'll ignore. Hey, baby, I'm doing a podcast right now. Yeah, come on. Just come on back to the shed. Alright, bye, love. I would never answer any other phone call except.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. Well, what I was saying is that a lot of people are incarcerated, you know, for the wrong reasons.
Oh God, yeah.
You take a look at the war on drugs and all that stuff. You know, that's been a major issue, in my opinion, for years, and it still is today. You know, but like for major crimes like murder or rape or whatever, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy is like think of all these fuckers. And, like, I'm not trying to say that, like, everyone didn't rape anyone, but I'm just trying to think of all these fuckers that have gone to jail that have never did anything wrong. You know what I mean? Like, that one, who was that black football player? Long time ago. He went to jail for, like, 13 years, and then the chick came out and said that he didn't really rape her and all that shit. Do you remember that?
I remember. I don't remember his name, though. It was in the late 90s, wasn't it?
And he didn't do fucking anything. And, like, he was black. So he already had a strike against him. And I personally don't ever judge anyone. I'll judge you by the first 10 sentences you say before I judge you by you look. You know what I mean? But like, or how you act, or how I know you treat people.
Yeah.
But like, I'll never judge you by how you look. You know what I mean? And like, it blows my mind how that is a thing. And like, what's the swimmer dude that raped that chick behind the dumpster? And what is he
from what college did he go to? An Ivy League school or something?
Yeah, and then just slap on the wrist. I'm like, yo,
no,
fuck that.
Was he even in prison, like
no,
or jail
or
anything?
He went to jail, dude. Like, and like. You know what's crazy? Like, could you imagine, like, I'm not saying imagine being him, but could you imagine, like, doing something like that and then going out anywhere and someone recognizing you? Like...
You're getting hands,
God, if you walked in the bar and, like, we all, like, looked at him, like, oh, dude, isn't that...
Oh, that's the guy that raped this girl.
Yeah.
Like, let's beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, like... Or the girl's father. Like if I had a little girl ever in my life, please God, don't ever do that to me.
I have a 5-year-old daughter, so.
But see, you're a big dude, and I feel like you're intimidating. Just look at me. I'm like 6 foot tall at best. You know what I mean? And like something happened to my daughter, like I have to kill you. Like I have to kill you. I'm sorry. Like I'm not really sorry, but like
I'm the same way because honestly, if anybody ever touched my daughter, I think I would probably lose it on somebody. I really would. And I'm a single dad, but even being a single dad, I see my daughter, about once a month or so. And it's really difficult because I would love to see her on a regular basis. But if anybody ever touches my princess, man, you're getting everything.
Well, it goes back to having like the $1 million thing. Like if you had $1 million, you wouldn't have to work, you wouldn't have to thrive, or like maybe not $1 million, but if you were financially stable and you didn't have to work, you'd spend all the time in the world with your daughter. Exactly. So like when I went on vacation with my girlfriend, and I'm not like saying my girlfriend's anywhere like anyone's daughter or son, I realized how much time I really enjoyed just being with her. And like now I wake up and go to work and I feel deprived. I was like, wow, that was fucking happiness.
You went to Orlando, right?
Yeah, I went to Orlando, went to Universal. Like her, like I haven't clicked so good with anyone like that. Like Brandon and I click good, but like I don't have sex with Brandon. You know what I mean? I'm not sexually attracted to Brandon. Me and my girl, we go out, have a good time. I love seeing her smile. I love seeing everyone smile, but it's just different when it's me and her. And like,
well, when you have that connection with a female, it's you want to be with them all the time.
Yeah, and like now I'm back on my grind, and like I'm like, god damn, like it would be just cool if we could just like hit the gym together, or we could just go watch movies all day, walk the dog, or just do something. Like her and I go kayaking a fucking lot.
Really? Where do you go kayaking at?
Oh, bro, I've got some. I'll show you some pictures afterwards. So her and I went up to Urari, and we found these fucking caves, right? And they're probably like a mile deep.
Yeah.
So you have to bring like headlamps and stuff. So we kayaked in these caves and stuff, and it's a basin. It's a water basin. It used to be an old mine. And there's like bats flying around, and then on the way back, so you have to paddle up the stream all the way there. But when you get back, it's an easy ride back because it's all rapids. You just paddle a little bit. I got pictures of my dog just sitting in my lap. We found waterfalls and shit, and I love shit like that. I will take going out and adventuring over the bar any fucking day. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely. I completely agree with you.
I am a big. I love the outdoors to an extent. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not the guy that wants to live out in the middle of the fucking woods.
Man versus wild.
Kind of shit. I don't want to do that shit. Yeah. But fuck, man, do I love like living on the outskirts of the city and popping up to the mountains and doing like a 3 or 4 day hike and like hanging out and like like so my girl, she's got a Jeep and she wanted a Jeep. I have my truck. I mean, my truck is off like obviously. Would be amazing off-road, but her Jeep is more...
I don't have a car, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Look, would be more sensible to drive somewhere than go off-road versus my truck, which would take $200 to go to fucking Asheville. You know what I mean? And like, whoa, the whole way. But the cool thing about our Jeep is we throw the fucking kayaks on top, we go fucking in the woods and hang out. It pools shit, so I want to get a boat, you know what I mean? And people are like, well, it's rich people shit. I'm like, no, it's really not. I'm paying like $1,000 for a boat this winter probably, maybe 2 at my top.
You can get older ones that are like inexpensive.
And I'll rebuild the fucking motor, and I'll make it mine, and I'll take that boat, and like like you or whoever, and we'll go out on the fucking lake and drink some fucking beers and fish, and you know what I mean, and like even camp on the boat or whatever the fuck it is. But I would take that over going getting trashed at the bar.
See, I love going fishing. The last time I went fishing was funny. Back in June, we had like a lot of people from the bar that we're friends with, come with us or whatever. Got trashed the entire time. It was a really ridiculous little situation. But one day, Sam showed up out of nowhere, and because he was invited, but near the end of it, because he had to work or whatever, and we were at Carolina Beach. Right. And Carolina's weird. It's right here, and then there's Curry. And then you have that, all that stuff over there. We decided to go fish off the pier.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool. We'll go fish off the pier.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And we went off the pier, and it was like 50 degrees outside. But when you have those waves come in with the wind and stuff, man, it feels like it's 30. And then it decided to start raining. So we get out there with our bait, with our fishing poles or whatever. We're there chilling, with our people. I think TJ was there, a few other people. Gunner, I think, was there. I'm not entirely sure, though. But, because I was drunk, probably.
Yeah.
But, we get out there.
There were people.
I don't remember who it was, but there was someone here. And then, we get out there, throw out the lines and stuff. And, like, 5 minutes later, I'm like, no, we are not doing this. So we spent like 5 minutes out there, but it's cool to go do stuff like that.
But like, so the fucked up thing about all that is you were forced to do it in that time period because that's the time period that you had off. You couldn't sit around and wait like 4 or 5 days for the weather to be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're all forced to do this shit in a time limit. Like, there are people like, and I like fellow Joes like Joe Rogan. Like I love his life. I'm
right.
fucking so jealous of his life.
Joe Rogan's awesome.
Like he trains, he goes out and hikes. You know what I mean? He's got his shit together. I'm like, and I would love nothing more in my life to be an entertainer. But like in this day and age, there's so many people, and it's so hard to practice something like that. I see these guys on stage all the time at Tenerife. I'm like, dude, I could 100% do that. Mm-hmm. I just don't have the time to like. I mean, I practice guitar all the time. I played the other night for money, you know. Mm-hmm. But like, I just don't have the time to fucking invest. And
it takes a lot of effort.
Yeah,
a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money. Probably, you got to get instructors or whatever, stuff like that.
From the store.
Hmm?
You want anything from the store?
Yes. If she doesn't mind picking up some Newports, I will pay her for some Newports.
Newport
shorts, preferably.
I figured she's coming here anyways.
No, you're good.
Cause like I was like, look, we got one left, and then we're back to where's the little one?
Oh, it's right here. I found it. It's right there. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. That takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and
she said gross.
Gross. Wow.
She doesn't smoke. She doesn't smoke weed.
Newport,
she doesn't do any kind of drug. She drinks. That's her thing. I'm very lucky to have her.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like
I can tell.
like, it's just crazy to me that like I would love to have these hobbies that everyone preaches about, but I don't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I don't know if I ever will. I feel like, and I hate to say this, and like respect to anything, I feel like I'm just gonna be struggling for the rest of my life. And I'm not really struggling, but like at the same time, like I live a life where I work 60 to 70 hours a week, and then somehow I still manage to fit in me time and girl time in there.
And honestly, it's about.
And credit cards are the worst for me time.
Oh yeah.
Cause you're like, whatever.
Yeah, let us spend it. Fuck it. We're gonna go for it. Discover what we're gonna discover. Like here's some beers.
We're gonna discover.
I don't know, man. And credit cards, damn. In this country, like we were saying earlier, a lot of people use credit, man.
Yeah.
For like everything.
There's no cash anymore.
No.
And there's definitely no gold. You know what I mean? No one's like, I'm gonna pay you an ounce of gold.
We need to have another gold rush.
Yeah. Or I think we should ante up like with this shit, and gold's a thing of the past, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe we should switch to like uranium.
Let's change our entire currency system and make it like, back in the heyday, soil. How about that? We'll just use dirt. It'll be fine. How much dirt do you have? You got a bucket of dirt?
Yeah.
All right, here you go.
Bucket of dirt.
I think we're good.
The barter system's not bad. I think the barter system would make people less lazy. Mm-hmm. But then again, like, once again, you have people that are just born in the right spot to have a good barter system. Mm-hmm. I don't know where the world, like, Bitcoin's a fucking brilliant thing.
Oh, yes. Are you kidding me?
I feel like that's going to fix a lot, personally. It will take power away from the government. Mm-hmm. I gotta piss.
I do too, actually. Let's do that.
Alright, hold please.
We've been doing this for an hour.
Oh, is it this one? It's this one. It's definitely this one.
It's one of those. I'm not entirely sure.
We're just going to put them both here just in case we don't fucking know. It would really suck if I left the right one over there. And we're back. Sorry,
guys.
So earlier we were trying to get shit to work. I could only get one mic to work.
That was terrifying.
Well, it sucked. I was like, well, I guess we just got a 6-pack of beer. We're just going to sit down here. You know what's crazy? I used to build motorcycles in the shed. And I wouldn't go out because I was building shit. Mm-hmm. So people started coming over here. And the next thing you know, people would buy motorcycles and they'd leave them here. Now, I had like 4 bikes in here. Like, when you're going to work on your shit, like, one day. And then I'll show you pictures. I built like 3 really gnarly ones. I found one, this is no shit, in a barn. Not a barn, like a shed. And it had grass.
I was born in a barn. So
yeah, all right. I feel like I was raised in one sometimes. It had grass growing out of the fucking tires. They said it hadn't ran in years. I brought it back in here. Oh, no, I got it in the garage upstairs. And I poured gas in the carbs, and I fucking got it running, and it ran great. I was like, oh, no shit. I was like, I'm gonna take this bitch for a ride. Pulled the clutch lever in, kicked it in first. There was no fucking clutch. It just took off like a rocket.
Really?
Oh, fuck yeah. It gets better. So I fucking, like, I'm shooting through the neighbor's yard. I'm like, fuck it, lay it down. But it was so low to the ground that the back tire just stayed there and it just spun around in a circle. I finally killed it. So I fixed the clutch issue, right? And it had old barrel, like the line and barrel for the clutch. It'd pour like this. And I finally got it all, good and almost to paint and shit. And I was like riding around. Oh, this is sweet. And those ramps I used, right? There's a dent in that trash can right there.
Did you headbutt it?
This is even better, bro. I was those ramps. I'd use the ramps to get them in and out of the shed. And I was like, all my friends are down here. I'm like revving it, like wow, like yeah, I'm so fucking cool with my motorcycle and shit. Revved it one good time. I was holding the clutch and the wire popped. I hit that fucking ramp, doing like probably 10 miles an hour, which is just enough. And fucking launched the motorcycle. It hit the trash can, wedged it up against the wall, launched me over there. It landed on my leg. I thought I broke my leg.
Get the fuck out.
And like all my friends, because they're good friends, instead of like, "Are you all right?" They all bust up laugh like, you stupid.
That's how you know you're a good friend. If you start laughing when something like that happens.
Laughing at me. I'm like, "Get this fucker off me!" I'm like limping around, like, "Oh, is the bike all right?" They're like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "No, is the bike all right?" Like,
I'm fine. The bike though, that's a lot of work and money and effort. Like,
it really it was a lot of work, but like I think I bought the bike for like $400. I put like maybe $700 in it, and that fucker was like one of the best bikes I've ever had. Mm-hmm. It never left me stranded. It threatened to a couple times.
Did you ride it a lot of places?
Oh yeah, I had a hardtail, so like I beat my ass to shit, but like a very memorable ride. I rode it from here to Goldsboro.
Oh, that's memorable.
Right? It didn't have a fuel tank or a fuel gauge on. I'm flying down the freeway like, whoa! And I'm like, oh, fuck, what the fuck just happened? I'm like tinkering on it. And I'm like, I like lean it over. I'm like, wow, it feels really light today. Right. And I'm like, when's the last time I put gas? And they're not fucking dropping gas in that.
I got a story for you when you're done.
No, so I had to walk to the gas station. I had to buy a gas can. And then I fucking filled it up, obviously. And then I'm going down the road with my fucking gas can on. And I'm coming back. And I get back, and I like get off my bike, and I'm like, that was a good ride. I'm like, didn't I buy a gas can? That gas can hopefully help someone else later on, like, life.
Right.
What's yours?
So, this past weekend, actually, for Halloween weekend, after I got off of work, went to this party or whatever, did our thing, met a couple mutual friends, and then some people that I live with were there. And we're about to leave, and he's like, hey, I have no gas in my car. I'm like, oh, shit. Well, how the fuck are we getting home then?
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to drive. I'm the least sober one. Get in the car, start driving. And I'm trying to find the nearest gas station. About 2 minutes later, run out of gas. We're on the way to Sheetz, over near where Harris Teeter is. Mm-hmm. And, Hardy's over there, kind of where Wolf Creek is.
Yeah.
And we had to stop the car, put it on the side of the road. I'm like, fuck. All right. So I was like, you know what? Actually, over here is a handy Hugo's. Let's go. Yeah. So we start walking. He's like, what are we going to do? I'm like, we're going to see if they have a gas canister, oil canister, whatever. We're just going to fill it up, put it in there, and we're good to go. Yeah. I walk to the entrance. It's locked. Because at like 3 o'clock in the morning, they're not going to let people in. But they had like a little side window, so I go knock on the window. Whatever. Hey, man. So do you guys have any gas canisters in here? And they're like, no, I have no gas canisters. I have nothing in here. I'm like, yeah. Really? You have no gas canisters or oil canisters? He's like, nope. I'm like, all right. Well, can you walk over here for me and check the aisles and see if there's anything I can put gas in? He's like, sure. It was this like fat ass dude, probably about like 240 pounds, about 5'7", just whatever. Comes back, he's like, I ain't got nothing. I said, all right, we'll take some cigarettes. I went back over to my friend, started talking to him again. I was like, hey man, he's saying there's no gas canisters, oil canisters, whatever. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do. He's like, all right, just go back over there and try to talk to him again and see if there's anything we put gas in. I'm like, all right, fine. So I go back over to the window. I'm like, hey, man, is there anything I can put gas in? I need gas now. Yeah. We are stuck on the side of the road. Like, let's do it. And he's like, well, I can go walk up and down again, but I don't know. He said, I have something, but it's for oil. I'm like, what is it? Can I see it? Walks all the way to the aisle, picks it up. I'll be damned if it's not a gas canister.
Jesus.
And I'm like, put it on. I'm buying it right now. I'm putting 5 on 2, and then I'll be back in 10 minutes. So filled it up with gas, whatever. Walked all the way back across the street, past the Hardee's, whatever. Filled the gas in the tank, and then the car wouldn't start. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck? The car's not starting. What we do? He's like, I got a great idea. We're going to shake the car. I'm like, all right, let's shake it. So we just shook we were drunk, too. Yeah. Shook the car, whatever. And as soon as we did that, boom, it started working. Yeah. He's like, drive. So we drove back to the fucking gas station, filled it up. He's like, man, that was close. I'm like, yeah, it was really close, dude. That was fucking insane. But Story be told, if you ever go to a gas station and they say they don't have gas canisters, they're full of shit.
I was pushing my buddy's car when I was in high school because we ran out of gas. And we were pushing it, and we were going down this hill. And we're all trying, because there's like down a hill and then up a slight hill. So we're all fucking flying up the hill, right?
Yeah.
And he like goes to hang a left. It's right at Peace Street where that fucking gas station is, like right by Broughton.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pushing. We're all running behind it, and there's 3 of us pushing on the trunk. And I'm on the far left. My buddy Ollie's in the middle. My other buddy Nick's on the side. He fucking nails the brakes. I hit the side roll off. My buddy Ollie goes through the back window, and fucking Nick was like this, so he ran his face into the trunk. We're like, what the fuck, dude? He goes, it was a red light. I'm like, yo, fuck the light. It's like 4 a.m. Like,
who cares? Just drive right through it.
Can you imagine getting pulled over in a ticket when you're out of gas? And like, dude, it's no way.
I can't go anywhere now. Thanks a lot. Like, you know. But yeah, man, that was really funny. And then what's funny is we got to another party after that, and as we went to this other party, we had a ball, you know, because we were in our own little world or whatever, doing whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, this man just would not stop giggling at all. He was just giggling the entire time. And, you know, I don't know, man. You got to have fun with your friends, because if you don't, then, like, you know.
Yeah, what are friends?
What are friends for? You know, like, you know, and we were talking earlier about, you know, yes, there's a time for this and there's a time for that. But the people that are close to you, you want to spend time with. Just like you were saying,
exactly.
You spend 70 hours a week working, but you make time for people and your girlfriend, you know? So.
It's just wild to me. You know, you ever see those people, like, you see it all the time at the bar. They always belittle their other friends.
To make themselves look better.
Yeah. But, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I talk shit to all of my friends, but it's never to make myself look better. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll make fun of you because I know you're going to make fun of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they know you're joking.
But I'm not going to be like, yeah, well, that's why your fucking sister's a whore, Becky. Like,
wow, so we're going to use that, huh?
Like yeah, it's like, bro.
Like, what the fuck, man? Like,
I used to play video games with this kid, and, like, every time I talked to him, he, like, always talked shit about my family. And then, like, I stopped playing video games, and he got all mad. Why don't you play games with me? Like, dude, like, it's like nothing we ever talk about while we play video games. I'm always stupid. I'm always the reason we lost, and you're always the reason we won. I was like, don't give me this shit.
Is that toxic tendency?
It still is. You know, people do that shit because they're insecure about themselves. And, like, I know that sounds like some cliche thing to say, but it is, dude. Like, you know, people say you're stupid and they're smart, but, like, realistically, it's just like, well, if it wasn't me hanging out with you, who the fuck would you be hanging out with, right? And now this motherfucker is like, you know, he sits at home and does nothing. He's got, like, some wife that treats him like shit.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever see this, he knows exactly who I'm talking about. And now he hits me up randomly. He's like, hey, man, what are you doing? I'm like, sorry, dude, I got a job and a life and a girl. And, like, I mean, if you want to come to the gym with me, that's fine. He's like, no, that's fine. We can get something to eat after. I'm like, no, dude, I got meals at home. Like, I'm not going out.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, he just doesn't grasp the fact that, like, there are better ways to do your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have nothing against staying home and being a homebody, but at the same time, it's just like, are you at home because of choice?
I want to do something.
Yeah.
You know, I want to do something with my life, whether it's, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do something.
Yeah.
Because I want to be productive. You know?
Yeah. Even if it's building a giant castle on, like, Minecraft, or, you know what I mean, like, learning an instrument, or, you know, even learning to sew is like, you know what I mean, like, sitting in a chair staring at a TV is like the worst waste of your life. I mean, I'm not saying TV's a bad thing, but like anything's good in moderation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just like this. You know?
Yeah.
But
moderately get another one.
Like, we'll have another one after this one, and then the next one maybe.
Moderately.
We might have another one. But
but like, I don't know, like, I love to drink, but like, I don't let it rule my world. You know what I mean?
When you do, it controls you.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, like, if you start treating alcohol like a part of your life, it becomes part of your life. You know,
it literally does.
Like, but if you're like, hey, I'm gonna have a beer, or if you set a date where you're like, oh, we're gonna get drunk this night, it's like it feels better to go out on that one night than it is to go 4 nights in a row and then out that night because you did that all the week before.
Yeah. And what are you doing? You're just doing the exact same thing at that point. God. And it's like, now it becomes routine, and now it's like, you know, part of my life, and I'm doing blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
so, you know, just...
I mean, God bless the person that invented alcohol. You know.
Whoever did that, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
You ever seen, like, squirrels that eat, like, rotten fruit, and, like, they get all drunk and shit? Like, I wonder if that's how it all started. You know, like, someone's like, oh, I don't know about this apple, but I'm gonna eat it. And they're like, wow.
Like the Bible? Yeah.
This tasted like shit, but wow, I got a buzz. Like, I'm gonna go talk to Rachel tonight.
You ever seen the movie Holes, where they find
yes.
Yep, they find those jars of fruit and they get drunk or whatever.
Who the fuck is Shia LaBeouf?
Yep. God, Transformers, dude. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, like, all right. So Shia LaBeouf went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And like, he did this thing. I think he's good now, but he went nuts. I think a lot of people, being a star, like especially from a kid, because he's been a celebrity since his teens, right?
Yes.
Something like that. Look at Britney Spears. Shit's happened to her. You know what I mean? Some people do really well with it. Some people don't. Like Justin Timberlake thrived. Justin Bieber thrived. People like Christina Aguilera. But people like Britney. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad, but Britney had a fucking moment. And if you watch her like interviews, she's
where
like,
she shaved her head and shit.
Yeah. She's like, fuck it. I watched that whole documentary, and like, I get where she's coming. Could you imagine people following you around with cameras all the time? You know what I mean?
I honestly don't know how I would handle that. To be honest with you, like maybe I'd be cool with it, but maybe like it might get to me. Yeah, in my opinion.
I mean, especially when you're having a moment of like, you know what I mean? Can you imagine someone always on your fucking shoulder with a camera? It's like, yeah, chill out, bro. Like, I don't want people to know how I poop. Like,
yeah.
So what if I ride the toilet backwards? I want to.
I have the step stool and I sit on it.
Like,
you know, like,
no. That's the best. Like, it's just, I don't know. And people like infatuate themselves with other people's life, and that's why they don't have their own.
Well, that's the problem. People need to realize that, hey, you know, like, I'm me. Nobody else is like me, and I'm just going to be confident in myself.
Not exactly true for you.
Definitely not for me. But what I'm saying is...
exactly someone that looks exactly like you.
This is true. However, he's a lot different to me, though.
He is. And like, if you all sat silent together and wore the same thing, I would never... And it's crazy because, like, I know because his face is just a little wider than yours. You know what I mean? Just dumb thing. But when you guys had both clean shaved face, there's no way.
Nope.
Absolutely. If you guys were the same weight, the same haircut, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. When you guys played football together, did you have Newhouse on both your jerseys?
So, actually, in high school and college, we didn't have names on our jerseys.
So you had numbers.
But we had numbers so people could identify. But what's funny is some people couldn't... Oh, 74. Is that Sam? No, that's Tyler.
Yeah.
Like, 11?
Yeah.
Are you sure that's Sam? No, that's definitely Tyler. No, wait, who is that? I don't know. But
so I got tagged in this fucking Facebook post not too long ago. And it was this guy picking a turtle up off the road. And they're like, oh, with Joe LaPatra. And I was like, that's not me. And goddamn, it looked spot on. Like, I was looking at him. I, like, rolled through the video. Like,
who is this? This looks just like me.
And, like, now because they didn't tag him in it, I've been trying to figure out who this motherfucker is. And I'm like, wow, he looks... I mean, like, it freaked me out. I guess, like, there's only so many different faces you can have. You know what I mean? Someone's got to look similar to you.
Well, there's people out there that, like, for example, like, people... There was a story about somebody, I think he was in South Carolina, or he was in Georgia, but... He had, like, a long-lost relative, apparently, that was his twin. And he had never met him before, but they had the exact same life. Like, more or less. Like, one was an actor, one was a singer, you know, one did this, one did that, you know.
But very similar.
But, yeah, exactly. And I don't know, man. I feel like, personally, that, you know, everybody technically, I think, does have their own kind of twin.
Well, so, the government did this... The government... I'd look it up, but we'll just say the government for this. They did this experiment where they would take mothers at birth that had identical twins, and they would pay them a large sum of money, and they'd take these two twins, and they would adopt them to two separate families, and they would do experiments. They would not like touch them or anything, but they would monitor their life as they grew up, and they would see how similar they were. And a lot of these people, like, one played baseball, one played football, but, like, I mean, they were both sports, you know what I mean, kind of people, and, like, but they were so similar. And then years and years and years and years later, they found out about it, you know what I mean? Like, one found out and then made a post and blah, blah, blah. And then, so, like, now there are, like, a larger number than you would think of these people who are like, wow, I was separated at birth, never knew I had a twin. And, like, and now I found out that we were an experiment. Could you imagine that? Like...
No, I can't. Honestly, that shit's crazy
I think they found out because they were looking for their surrogate mother, their real mother. And that's what happened.
What's funny is during World War II, I think they did experiments on twins. Like Hitler.
Dude, Hitler was nuts, dude.
Is that a person? I think
I
it
hope
is.
so. Oh, hey, baby.
Hello. How are you doing?
Boy, that didn't scare the shit out of me for a second.
I was like, is that a raccoon?
That's a big raccoon.
Like...
You can come right through here. Oh.
Thank you you so much for the Newports. Mucho apreciado.
Oh, I texted the wrong person.
Oh, you did?
That's what I was saying. I think she might have grabbed mine though. Nope.
We'll get some on the way. Don't worry about it.
No, it's just wild.
They used to do experiments like on twins where they would like cut them open, and they would switch
organs. They did so much crazy shit. They would try to cross monkey and human sperm and eggs. Like a lot of people, like Hitler was a horrible person. This I acknowledge. He's a piece of shit. Did some really fucked up things. But however, no one can deny in that time, and this is not justifying that he's a good person at all. In that time of period, that there was more medical advances than there was in any kind of history because they were doing experiments on humans. They were trying to turn people into like the perfect German, if you will, with blonde hair and blue eyes.
And you're saying this to a Jew.
Yeah, right. And like there's a place I was watching this shit where like they have no idea how bad Hitler was, and they think that like they would go there and they would find like these people like, yeah, my grandpa was this great war hero, but he was like a fucking Nazi. And there's also another place where they did a lot of these experiments, and there's like lots of twins, like thousands of twins.
Yep.
And like, so like, do I think they figured something out? Maybe. Will it ever be brought to our attention?
Probably not.
Probably the fuck not.
No.
And it's wild, and like, like people on death row. Like it's like I feel like maybe this is probably already happening. It's like you want to figure out if superpowers exist. You know what I mean? Steroids are a thing.
Just watch Marvel.
You know what I mean? Yeah, right. Deadpool is a fucking perfect example. Like, you know what I mean? You want like if you're gonna die, if they're gonna put you out anyways, maybe just like, hey, inject me with Serum X and see if I can fly.
And now I have superpowers.
Right.
And I'm Superman. So
there, I'm not saying that super. Oh god, I'm getting drunk as I'm talking like this. I'm not saying.
Okay, I am too.
Here, that one's you. I'm gonna take this one. This one's you though.
You're awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm not saying that
Jews are terrible.
No, I'm definitely saying that. No, it's crazy because like, once again, like I had no idea you were Jewish. It didn't make a difference to me. It still doesn't make a difference to me now. Like until like 2 days ago. You know what I mean? And it goes back to what I said earlier with like I don't judge you by how you look. I judge you by how you are as a person, 100%, and how you treat other people. But like, it's just I would like to bet that there are people in this world after millions that possess some supernatural power of some point. You know what I mean? Like there's guy. Like
Stan Lee did a series on it, I think, actually.
About the guy that could like stay in ice forever.
Yeah.
And like that's very broad, but I'm sure there are people that it's just like another thing for them. You know what I mean? Like they don't even know that they possess it. You know what I mean? Like people, maybe even like God, I know I'm getting drunk on talking about. Maybe someone even has like telekinesis.
I do.
You know what I mean?
With my twin, I have it. Because, I promise.
Wait, what's the one where you can move shit?
Telekinesis.
But you're thinking telepathic. When you think the same thing as your twin.
No. I have both of those. Telekinesis.
You can move shit with your hand.
You have the force, like.
Yes, I bet you, but maybe not to the extent that we think we have. Like someone can pick up a building, but like maybe someone could like move a feather. And like I know that sounds very surreal now, but like if you think about this, like
do we have a feather we can move right now on the table?
Other than with wind.
Right. So somebody needs to blow on it, and then we'll just
like,
say we did.
How about this? I know people that are my size that have ungodly strength. You know what I mean? Like I've worked out with people that have little to no muscle mass that are just oxes. You know what I mean? Like when we were picking grandma up the other night, like I knew that you and your brother could pick her up because I know you guys are strong people. But like what if like I don't know, like Nick Murray, that stick that he is, just came up and just picked her up like it was nothing?
Oh, Nick has superpowers, bro. Trust me. I've seen him.
I love Nick, dude. I've been trying to get him.
He's great at communicating. He's great at talking. That's his superpower.
Dude, communication is such a skill that everyone in this fucking world lacks, dude.
Yes. If you don't have communication, do you really have anything? If you're not able to talk to somebody, like, no. If you are so insecure in yourself, you can't sit down and have a fucking conversation with somebody.
And like an adult conversation.
Yeah.
You know, like it's crazy what offends people today. You know,
everything.
You know what I mean? Like you tell the wrong person that you like seafood. And they're like, you're one of those. It's like, maybe.
See, I'm on a seafood diet. I just see everything.
You see it?
Yeah. But
but like it's crazy. Like the stupidest thing. Like we were talking like Marvel and DC. Like that's right. Like people get tore apart. Like, how about this on a bigger scale? Like this election shit. Like, red or blue. It has taken some people's friendship and just destroyed it. But why? You know what I mean?
Because so and so is insecure about so and so's political views.
Like, sure, I get, like, you like him, I like him. I get it. We have different political views. It doesn't mean that we can't get along as people. Like,
some people take it and they just run with it, and they're like, "Oh, well, you don't. Now I gotta block you on Facebook." Or,
yeah,
I gotta
right.
do this because you don't believe in the same thing I do. And it's like, no, motherfucker.
No, I do feel
That's
like
not how it works.
No, I do feel like there are some major exceptions on that. You know what I mean?
I agree. There's some categories,
like some really like I think it's fine to fucking murder babies. Like it's like no, that's
goodbye. We'll
like
see you later.
That's a different thing. But like it's just like even if that person does enjoy murdering babies and that's his thing, it doesn't mean that he doesn't possess the knowledge to cure cancer. You know what I mean? He could be an absolute horrible, like back to Hitler, an absolute horrible person that has made advances in other things.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They might suck as a human being, but like, and like, you know, if that person didn't exist, this wouldn't have happened. Because of the things that horrible people have done, it has made other people do things to prevent that in the future.
I mean, look at the nuclear bomb, for example.
Yes.
Hiroshima and, you know.
Yeah, Nagasaki.
Yeah.
What was it, Martha Gay? What was the plane? I've seen that plane.
Mm-hmm.
I went to DC and I've seen the plane from like media.
I think, didn't Einstein create it?
He did.
Yeah.
He did. And I think so crazy thing about that, you ready for this? So
I'm gonna get ready right now. Okay. Here we go. I'm right here.
So Einstein came over here on a secret military thing called.
It was part of the Secret Service, right? Is that what it was?
No. It was called Project Paperclip, and this is what we did. The American government took Nazi scientists, good, bad, whatever, brought them over here, gave them immunity, and allowed them to work as our scientists and let them create shit. So if you think about this, if we wouldn't have got Einstein, maybe Hitler would have got the nukes, and if that would have happened, well, you might not even exist. You know what I mean?
This is very true. My grandfather, he fled Hungary in 1939, I think.
Yeah, and like on top of that, like I don't even know what to fucking say. Like maybe 50 years from now, like I'm not saying that the powers that be are good or bad, but like I'm gonna have my nephew on my lap, and I'm gonna be like, back in North Carolina, now known as the radiation zone, I worked at this bar. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just crazy. You know what I mean? I am a firm believer, and this sounds horrible, that we have to go ahead and get rid of like a third of the population. Just gone. Like child rapists, gone.
No, I totally agree.
You know
with
what I mean?
that.
People that are like obsessively abusive to people and animals, fucking gone. People that stop at yellow lights, gone. That one might be.
You need to go straight through it, you know, like fuck it, like,
but, like
you're going through.
Like they're like, and it's crazy the people we give immunity to and the people we don't. Back to like the.
They go back to power, dude.
Yeah, or the football player that never raped that chick went to fucking jail
for
and then
years.
And like you know we give immunity to this fucking swimmer dude. Fuck off, dude. Like it's insanity to me.
I can't imagine being that person who was in prison for that long and was like, oh wait, you didn't do it, you're fine.
Or even better, can you imagine being
like,
the judge that sentenced that person to being in prison and then like, oh, I think we should go after them.
Is he getting hands? Or like, who knows?
Yeah. Even crazier, like I think it's crazy that people that in positions of power that have never done any kind of time in jail are allowed to sentence people to go to jail for X amount of days.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I think if you're a judge, you should probably do a year in jail just to know what jail is like before you start sentencing people to go to jail.
So let's make felons judges then.
Ooh, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
I like
Honestly,
that.
seriously. If you've been in prison for 20 years and you get your whatever, necessarily, you do all the paperwork, whatever, and you're going to be a judge. And you know what? Because you're at that point able to judge people based on their actions. You know?
You imagine you go to the court and fucking judge got like a tear off.
Yeah.
TJ's your judge with all his ink.
No, honestly, TJ is a really good judge on.
I think on character
for sure.
I think Brandon is too, just not on his own. But no, and like the other thing that I heard not too long ago is making like vets, like Iraqi vets, resource officers. I think that's fucking brilliant. You know what I mean? They have the training in case anything happens, and like if you put an armed vet in a school and there's a school shooting, you think that fucking the resource officer might run and hide in the closet, but I promise you that You know, that sniper from Iraq ain't running. You know,
he's right here, bro.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You talk about all these school shootings and shit, like Sandy Hook and all that was super horrible.
That was, yes.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of like, was it real? Is it not real? Even if it is or isn't real, regardless of that being said, if you had someone trained in that situation to be in that school, how far would they have gotten? They wouldn't have gotten far.
No.
You know?
You remember the Batman shooting?
Yes.
We were talking about DC earlier, so I figured I'd bring it up.
The guy that ran up in the fucking movie theater.
Who said he was the Joker or
and
whatever.
Just sprayed. That's insane, dude. With that being said, like, if everyone in that movie theater had a gun, how many people would he have shot? You know what I mean?
2.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe 2.
And he didn't even have, like, real guns. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He had, like, I think he had, like, a semi-automatic pistol or something like that. He had something.
I don't remember what he had. All I know is that weekend I saw Dark Knight Rises, because that's when it came out, 2012, I think. And my dad was like, hey, man, I'm taking you to see this movie, whatever, you know. We're just going to watch it, you know. And we were actually in Oklahoma at the time because I was being recruited by a school in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. So we went and saw this movie. And my mom called. She's like, how's everything at the theater? You know. So,
it was a blast.
Nobody's shooting nobody's shooting anybody. I promise. We're here watching The Dark Knight Rises. You know.
Oh, God, what a jokester she is. I don't know. And, like, I'm a big believer in guns, man. People are like, take the guns away. I'm like, don't. Just, and I'm not saying make it hard to get guns. I'm just saying allow proper training for everyone. Like, shooting guns was a thing in high school 40 plus years ago. You know, they had like archery classes and stuff, but now people are afraid. Can you imagine the day that people are going to be afraid to drive cars?
Well, riddle me this. So,
okay.
How many of these? Yep. So how many of these does it take to kill you based off of your weight? Depending, like if you're 200 pounds, how many of these, if you drink them in a row?
Right, so you have to have more of a 0.03 in a blood alcohol level, and what do these have? Like 8%. So it would, if you drink them straight without any water, it would probably take 80 beers.
Okay.
Maybe.
So you're making this decision on your own to drink that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continuously.
So as long as you're able to control your drinking habits, does that matter?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Perspective. Like,
yeah. No, I understand exactly what you're saying. And it's like, if you really think about, like, drunk driving, for instance, it's like, the alcohol didn't do that. The car didn't do that. The individual drank the alcohol, then drove the car, did that.
Just like me about a year ago. So
yeah.
I get it, you know.
You know what I mean? and the other side of that is, I don't even think drinking driving should have to be a thing if we were provided with the proper transportation. Like Uber.
Oh, public transportation. Let's talk about that.
Like, Uber is a fucking... like, there's no reason to drink and drive anymore because of Uber. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Except for when it's, like, surging at, like, $80 for a mile. But, like, if you had, like... New York has a fucking train system. Mm-hmm. The subway. And it's brilliant. I can't ever imagine getting a DUI in New York City because literally all you do is walk down...
Whoop, there it is. Boom. I've never been to New York, but obviously I know enough about it.
If Raleigh had a triangle between Durham, Raleigh, and Cary... you could just hop on a train that costs $1.75. I mean, granted, that brings other problems in, like people trying to deal drugs on the train system and shit. But, like, it does solve a lot of problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like, who's on the road at 3 o'clock in the morning anyways? You know what I mean? People trying to get home from the bars via work or they're drunk. You know what I mean? It would eliminate so much shit.
Definitely.
I don't agree on the way that we are fined and prosecuted for things that we're forced to do.
Because our government wants to control literally everything.
Yeah, even taxes.
Everything.
If you
it doesn't matter. It's fucking everything.
Well, if you think of a cow, like so you have a cow. You get taxed when you bought the cow,
about them.
right? Yes. Yeah, you get taxed when you bought the cow. You get taxed for the food that you give the cow. Yep. You get taxed for the fertilizer that the fucking cow shits out. You get taxed on the milk and the meat. You literally tax the cow to every bit of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's madness. It's absolutely madness.
Like mad cow disease, exactly.
No wonder them fuckers are mad.
Yeah.
You think you got taxes? I can't even...
I'll throw them all on you. How about that?
I can't even eat shit, milk, or die without being taxed on it. It's crazy. And, like, if you even look at food, like, we have all this food. Like, you've seen a restaurant. Think about how much food we throw away.
I work in
a
one,
night.
yes.
Like you see how it works. Think about like how much food I throw away in a night. Just me as a person, and then think about
a lot.
Everyone that works there. We just dump food in the trash.
And it's like the homeless. Wow, they're on the street. Like,
right?
Should we be doing something about this? You know.
The other side about the homeless is some of them fuckers are just insane.
Oh yeah, some of them just and you've seen them where it's like fuck it, like you got $1 or do you got this or I'm just gonna use that beer for whatever.
Yeah, at least you're honest, right? But like, how about I buy you this beer, but you go fill out 3 job applications in the process? Mm-hmm. You know,
I'll buy you beer if you apply at my job. How about that?
Yeah,
sound good.
Even if you don't get the job, at least you gave it a shot.
Mm-hmm. Bingo.
I had one when I worked at Brewmasters. It couldn't read or write or anything, but he'd come around about 10:30 at night when I was closing up, and I'd be like, he'd like, yo, give me like $10 to flip the chairs and mop the floors. And if I didn't have like $10, like, yo, I can get you a burger or something. Mm-hmm. And like, dude, he'd show up there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like it was clockwork at the end of the shift, and like help me close. And the other side, I kind of got close to him, even though he was creepy and crazy. But like, I knew like if another crazy person walked in, that like he'd be like, nah, this is my spot. Like, yeah, I eat burgers here.
Well, you told me a story yesterday about did you pay $100 for something?
Oh, those 2 homeless people.
Yep.
All right, so they're fucking vicious, dude. They're like savages. Not all of them, but like they would wait for me to come out of the bar, and they would fucking roll up on you like real fast, and like anyone that rolls up with you when you have a large sum of money in your pocket is very scary. Mm-hmm. Regardless if you can fight or not, because you know they want what you have.
They want your wallet.
And like it was like you know what, guys? I was like, instead of $5, I'll give you $100. I was like, but you guys gotta fight. Y'all beat the brakes off each other, and I'll give it. But they never fucked with me again after that. Like they're like, oh, he's crazy. Like,
he wants us to fight for money.
He wants us to fight for money. Like
is it WWE?
Like
what is
you know what
shit?
I mean? Like it's like I said earlier. You know what sells? Sex, drugs, and entertainment. Like
God
damn it, go ahead.
Remember that?
Like, I don't know. And like I've made poor decisions in my life, and like
I've made terrible decisions.
But like somehow I've managed to like stay mostly drug free. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I've done my share of drugs, but like I'm not like falling asleep at my job because I'm shooting up on heroin.
See, and that's where it is. You have to have a time place for your work, for your home life, and for whatever you want.
Moderation.
Exactly. And if you can do that and succeed, you're good.
Oh yeah.
That's all that matters.
I don't know. I don't know. And like they say, like a lot. You know, this is what kills me. There are more vacant homes in America than there are homeless people. And like that is a problem.
Oh, that's a huge problem.
That's a monstrous problem. I think the house of like everyone's trying to be a realtor and make money, but it's just like, yo, if everything was affordable, people would be a little bit more, you know what I mean? Everyone's like, don't raise minimum wage. And it's like, you know, maybe people need you to raise minimum wage. There's no way that certain families can succeed.
See, here's where I'm at on it. So, like, there was a candidate, I forgot his name because I'm fucked up, but he was like, you know what? Let's install this UBI thing, Universal Basic Income, or whatever, and you can use that for whatever, for every American. So we're talking about like $1,200 a month. You know, so everybody gets it. Taxes are raised, obviously.
Yeah.
But you're still getting $1,200 a month.
No
if
matter
you
what.
want to work, you can work and make on top of that. So, like, let's say you work a minimum wage job. There's no point in raising minimum wage. Yeah. But you get the $1,200. So on top of your minimum wage, you're making $2,200 a month. Yeah. That's enough to cover your rent, utilities, food, whatever.
Or even like, 1,200 is even high. If we give someone $500 a month, or if everyone just had food stamps, you know what I mean? Like, I know, like, maybe if we give people money that spend it on drugs, and that's like the big, like, the thought behind it. But if we pay for people's food, you know what I mean? No, like, there are people,
basic necessities.
There are people in this world that have no idea they don't know what it feels like to be hungry and not know when they're going to eat. And, like, that is a very scary feeling. Or not know where they're going to lay their head. Or if they're going to be dry when they sleep. And, like, I get it. Like, maybe they've put themselves in that situation. But no one deserves to suffer. Especially when there's people driving around $100,000 cars. You know what I mean? It's just insanity.
Well, I read something, actually, the other day where it was, like, the top 1% of the world in terms of, you know, total income and shit like that or whatever. These people have more money combined than anybody else on the planet.
Yeah, we did some work.
So, like, you know, like, really, the top 1% has all this money.
Yeah.
But we're
it's
sitting
like a
here
big curve.
struggling.
It's like, nope. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like, really? You're gonna sit here and just, you got your Lambo or whatever, your private jet, but all these motherfuckers over here ain't got no money.
Oh, God. Or, like, the priests that have all that shit. It's...
Religion? You're talking about...
Yeah, people like... Oh, boy.
Let's talk about it. We talked about it earlier.
Priests that have private jets, that's insanity. You're a person of God. They don't want to ride in a fucking plane with anyone else. Of course not. It's amazing to me. Mm-hmm. I don't understand. I never will, and I haven't. And as far like, and people are gonna hate me on this one, but like people are like Joe Biden and Trump. I'm just like neither.
And like on this, not in my opinion, neither are good candidates.
Yeah.
So I get it. However, at this point in time, when you have all this bullshit happening, your vote doesn't count, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like with the popular vote, that's the way to go. With the Electoral College, that does not fucking work. Whoever designed that shit in 1787 is a fucking moron, because the reason they did it was for the 2/3 compromise. And do you know what the 2/3 compromise is?
No, please explain.
So the 2/3 compromise, basically what it was, is in every state for slaves, they counted those individuals as 2/3 of a person. But they couldn't vote. So that made their electoral vote a lot more, because based off of population.
Yeah. So if you had like 100 people and only 30 people vote, that 30 people means more.
Yeah.
Than if you had 300 people and then 30 people vote.
Exactly.
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
And that ended...
I mean, it's smart in a way if you're trying to win. You know what I mean? And this is my whole thing about like candidates and shit. It's just like these guys, like we were saying this earlier, they're in their 70s and 80s. What the fuck do they know about what's going on for the younger youth? You know what I mean? Like I would 100% prefer someone that is in their like mid 40s to like early 50s.
You mean like Obama?
Obama was, and I don't agree with everything he does, but I don't disagree with a lot of things he did either. Mm-hmm. I don't think he is a horrible person. I don't think he's a great person. Mm-hmm. But I'm just trying to say, like, you want to know who I put my vote into? Like Bill Nye, the science guy.
Bill Nye's smart as fuck.
Is a fucking brilliant guy. Why don't we have a scientist? You know what I mean?
Wait, so you need to be educated in order to run this country?
Fucking goddamn right.
Really?
You know what I mean?
No way.
Like, it just blows my mind. Like, who is going on? And then we have all these people that are die hard for both sides. And, like, they're like, vote for Trump, vote for Biden. I'm like, hey, how about this? Don't vote for even. Vote for Joe Exotic. I mean, you're like...
Well, Kanye West, didn't he run for president?
Bro,
I saw something yesterday where like 1,000 people in Tennessee or some other state, I can't remember exactly, voted for Kanye. And he got 1% of the vote.
I would love
1%.
And like, I'm at a point in my life where I'm just like, yo, throw a wrench in the machine. Let's just see what happens. You know what I mean? Like,
if it explodes, let it just
like
explode.
blow it up. You know what I mean? Fuck,
yeah.
Rome had to fall too. And like, so be it if this has to be my generation that watches it. But like, God, is there a yell? Or is my echo?
No,
but like,
we're tripping over here.
But like, goddamn, like, how have we gotten to where we are right now in the world? You know what I mean? And everything is broadcast. Like, you can't escape it. Like, how many phone calls have I gotten since we've been sitting here?
At least
about politics.
At least
like,
3. I've gotten 2, and I've declined both of them. But...
And like, the only one I answered was my girl. You know what I mean? I answered the first one on my watch, and the second one I just dropped on the floor, and then I'm just like, whatever. Like, it would be very interesting if we just took like an average Joe and made him president. You know what I'd do if I was president?
What?
I'd blow the moon up. I've said it a couple times.
That's a great idea.
I would nuke the moon.
Fuck it. We're just gonna like not have any,
nuke the fucking moon. That'd be my first move. And it'd probably cause world chaos. And
it would cause a lot of chaos.
It would like fuck with the tides and like probably people's zodiac signs. And like people that are Virgos are now Scorpios. But
wait, so people that don't believe in global warming be like, oh wait, this is
this is happening. Like, this is going down. But like, you know what that would fucking do? That would show people that I'm really not fucking around. And I'd be like, the next missile, I'll blow up the Earth. So I will blow the fucking Earth up right now. I was like, no one will live. So you should
have started Austin Powers then, if that's the case.
Oh yeah. I'd be like, you see this red button? I was like, this is it. This is the Earth. I was like, Don't press it. We're gonna get along. We're all gonna get along today.
Yes.
Because if we don't, we're all going to die. Oh, wow, it's good to say. It's got like a good fucking 10-pound trigger pull on it. I'm gonna have to. Just kidding. Like.
Well, this has been an awesome podcast. I think we might have to have a part 2, to be honest with you.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out and get some beers.
We might have to have a part 2. So,
Tyler, Sam, whichever one you fucking
I'm
are.
Tam and Skylar somewhere else. But we're definitely having a part 2 at some point. I got to piss like a racehorse.
I got to piss too. Bye, fuckers.